Hey guys, what's up? It's Tony Dio here at the Metal Emporium. Today I want to talk to you about tour books or tour programs. Bands used to put these out, and they are souvenir programs to celebrate the tour. It's kind of a lost art form now, but they were like I said, souvenir booklets that would celebrate the tour. There'd be lots of photos and information on the band, like bios on each band member, breakdown of their gear, what they played, and then of course it would list all the crew, that worked on the tour, and just all kinds of details that involved in the live show. So here are some that I have in my collection. I pick them up out in flea markets and stuff, different places. Now some of them I actually did purchase myself at the shows. I remember back in the 80s, a t-shirt would cost you like $10 or $12 for a shirt. Maybe you didn't have enough to get it. You could get a tour book sometime for around $3 to $5 maybe, and they went up a little bit over time, but they were always affordable. Here's one from Iron Maiden's 1983 Peace of Mind tour. Of course, like I said, he's got all the photos in here. You got bios on the band. It's got, of course, all the tour dates listed for that particular tour, even like some merch. Got a merch form in it. This one's kind of cool. I actually had Bruce and Adrian. I met them in 1997, and they autographed this. You can barely see it. It's in ballpoint pen, so you really can't see it. I should have had them do it in Sharpie, but I didn't. Here is one from the Mob Rules tour. It's pretty cool. Big Dio collector like myself. Just had a lot of cool photos and stuff from that tour. Course, another one I didn't attend, but I just have the book. Here's a rainbow one. This rainbow is, I think it's from the Straight Between the Eyes tour, because of course you got each individual band bio here, and of course they got the eyes from the album cover on here. But that's pretty cool. Here's a Saxon. This was the Rock the Nations tour for Saxon. I think this is probably a European book here. Yes, it is. And I picked this up along the line somewhere, and I took it to a Saxon show sometime during the 90s and got them to autograph it. Let's see what else we got. Hey, this was actually, I did purchase this one. It's my very first rock concert, Loverboy, 1983. It was the Keep It Up tour. Some more cool pictures in this one. Each one, like I said, band bios and so forth. I did see this tour, but I didn't buy a book there. I actually picked this up some years later. This is the Love at First Sting tour from Scorpions, and lots of cool photos in this one as well. Born Again tour, the infamous Born Again tour from Black Sabbath with Ian Gillan fronting the band. I think this was 1983. Yeah. They were pretty cool looking back then. Now, I didn't attend my first Ronnie James Dio concert until I think it was the Dream Evil tour. But here's actually a tour book from the 1985 Sacred Heart tour. And this one actually features Vivian Campbell in the book. Vivian did the first leg of the tour before he parted company, and they brought in Craig Goldie. So Vivian's featured in this one. This is one I acquired somewhere down the line. This is actually a European tour book magazine for Thin Lizzy's 1979 Black Rose tour. Of course, Gary Moore is the guitarist. And I was wondering for years if this was actually a tour book, but I got the box set that came out. And in the box set, they had a hardbound book that had all their tour books replicated in it. And this was definitely included. So I guess this was looked at as a tour program. Here's one from Motley Crue's Dr. Feelgood tour. I did see that, but I didn't pick this up at the time, but I found it in a flea market somewhere down the line. Another Motley Crue one that I attended, the Theater of Pain tour. Lots of cool pictures in that. Here's a really old one. This was actually stuck inside of an album. I bought some records, and it was a Boston album. And this booklet was in there, and it looks to be a Boston tour book for the first album. Ted Nugent, the TNT tour. I think this was 1978. A friend gave me this recently, actually. My friend Dennis Cristiano. He actually gifted me several tour books recently. But yeah, this is the 78 tour. This one, because he's got Charlie Hunn on guitar, on lead vocals on there and rhythm guitar. So yeah, 78, that would have been the Weekend Warriors tour. Michael Schenker Group, 1981 tour. This was probably a European tour book, I would think, but not so sure about that. But got some great photos in here from that. Cozy Powell on drums, neat. Here's one that's not a metal band, but one of my favorite bands from the 80s, Devo. It's a New Traditionalist tour book from that tour. So this would have been around 81, yeah, the 81 tour. Another one I picked up out in the wild, the Gary Moore. This was the Victims of the Future tour for, was it 1984? Some great photos in this one. He had a great band, Neil Carter. He had Ian Pace on drums from Deep Purple and Whitesnake. Yeah, there they are, looking like a bunch of accountants. Now here's one I picked up in the wild. This is a Leonard Skinner tour program for the Street Survivors tour. And it's got all the info and all the specs and everything for the tour in here. But on the back, it's actually got the band members and the crew people that died in the plane crash listed. So I'm guessing this came out after the crash. Maybe they had some left over and they repackaged them somehow or another. But I still thought it was a cool one to have. Here's a really old, it's probably the oldest one I got. This is 1975. This is the On Tour book from Kiss, from the Destroyer tour. This was another one that Dennis gave to me recently. This one was actually, Dennis had taken it apart and had hung the photos, I guess, on his wall when he was a kid, but he had kept it all together. So I had to put a little paper clip here on it to hold it together. But I was really happy to get this one because like I said, it's probably the oldest one I got, and I am a big Kiss fan as well. What else have we got here? Poison 1990-92 tour. I saw Poison a few times. I don't recall if I saw this tour or not, but I think I found this one at a record show or at a flea market or something years and years ago. This is one of the bigger size books as well, large size, you know. What do we got here? I've got a few Judas Priest. Here's one Dennis gifted me. This is the Point of Entry tour. This is 1981 tour for Judas Priest. Really nice one. It's in really good condition. We've got the 1990-91 tour for Judas Priest, Painkiller tour. I actually saw them on the Operation Rock and Roll package, and I actually picked this up there. A lot of cool photos in this one. Cool Judas Priest piece. I did see this tour as well. This is the Defenders of the Faith tour. So this was 1984, and go back this way. You can see, got some cool photos. Love the back cover on there, was pretty cool. I remember seeing the t-shirt with that on it, and I kind of wish I had bought that shirt. Continuing with Judas Priest, this is the 82. We got the Screaming for Vengeance tour, and pretty neat. That's a neat fold out photo there. Just a bunch of hodgepodge of stuff. Got a few by Ozzy here. My friend Jimmy Shoaf actually gave me this one. This is actually from the Diary of a Madman tour, and he got it, I guess, you know, when Randy was still in the band, and it's got some great photos in here, some really good band photos with Randy, and yeah, but yeah, that's a really cool one to have. Here's another one by Ozzy that I did see this tour. This was the Bark at the Moon tour, and I met Jake E. Lee a few years ago, and I got him to autograph this one for me. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff in this one. Yeah, the werewolf from Bark at the Moon. And one more Ozzy that I have here, and I had Jake autograph this one as well, and that's the Ultimate Sin tour, and I did see this one as well. Yeah, this was a great tour. Of course, this is back when, you know, Ozzy was looking like he was part of the Golden Girls or something. The glam years for Ozzy. Another one I picked up at a record show. This is Riot's Privilege of Power tour. This is actually a Japanese tour book here. This is from 1990, and it's got a lot of cool photos from that lineup of Riot, like they considered the Thundersteel lineup. And I got Mike from Riot to sign it a few years ago. A couple of Metallica ones here. I saw both of these tours. Here's the Damaged Justice from the Justice for All tour. Cool one here. Some great photos in that one. And the Black tour, which I saw, I probably saw that show 4 times maybe, and picked this up at one of the shows. A couple more Kiss ones here. This is an older one actually as well. Probably one of my older ones. This is 1979. This is the Dynasty tour. And I think someone picked this up at a yard sale for me like years ago, but they had some great photos in this. Of course, I love the costumes from the Dynasty with the capes and all. I mean, they were, just a great time for the band as far as the image goes. Not my favorite music period, but yeah, they definitely look cool, the Dynasty tour. And here's the one I picked up on the reunion tour, 1996 tour. This was when they got back together and put the makeup back on, of course. And I saw this show, I think 4 different times. I do remember the prices had gone up a little bit on the books by then. Maybe this one was 10 or 15 bucks back then. Ozfest, they actually had inexpensive tour books. This is the 1997 Ozfest. And if I remember right, they were like 5 or 6 bucks. They weren't very expensive, so I picked them up. Here's the 1998 one, and shows all the bands and stuff that was on that one. And here is a commemorative magazine that I got when I saw the Lollapalooza tour in 1996, and that was the one where Metallica and Soundgarden headlined, but they had the Ramones and Rage Against the Machine and just a lot of cool bands there that day. And like I said, it's kind of a dying art form. You don't see too many bands that still do it. I'm sure there are some bands out there that still make tour books. I don't really, most of the time when I go to shows now, I don't even go look at the merch hardly because it's so expensive. But I'm sure Iron Maiden still does it. But Trans-Siberian Orchestra, they still do a tour book, and I went to see them a few years ago, and I got this while I was there. And their show is so visual. It's got great photos of all the performers, and of course the incredible light and pyro show that you see that goes along with their show. So it's cool that they do one because it does capture the magic of what you see on stage at this. That's going to do it, guys, for this episode of Metal Emporium. Thanks for joining me. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and be sure to leave some comments, and we'll see you next time on the Metal Emporium. Stay metal.